Kimmie Rose. This is your weekly vibe and mantra for October the 28th to November the 4th, 2019 AD. And it has been an interesting week. We are approaching a Mercury retrograde, which I found it very interesting because to me, like, the communication has already been like all over the place, like literally all over the place. And when I say that, you can see these earbuds around. I swear they live in my ear right now. A lot of things going on where I find myself getting on the phone and actually videoing people instead of texting them, because this is a time where it's just like you're going to try to explain things, but you're going to feel like, is anybody home? Is anybody there? So it's really important to be clear with your communication. I know stress. I've noticed this with people that I talk to who are really stressed out, people who they're just thinking about what they want and what they want now, and nothing else matters but what they want. And that's all they can hear. And what happens is they're not hearing. They're not hearing you. They're only hearing what their needs are. And that can be really frustrating for people who really are choosing to come from a space of love and caring and wanting to really be honored with their deepest. And then I'm going to say this, you're going to feel some real big strikes this week, because your deepest emotions, things that you have asked in the past about, you've asked people, please listen to me, or if you're doing a favor for someone, you may feel a little ripped off. So instead of feeling ripped off, it's an important time to communicate. Before the Mercury goes retrograde, by the way, if anybody's asking, what is that? Mercury is the planet of communication. And when it goes retrograde, it starts to go backwards. So, put your glasses on and take a look at what's really in front of you and what it is. What is it that I'm ignoring? What am I detaching from? And what is it that, say to yourself, what is it that I need to share? Because if it's bottling up and bubbling up inside of you, it's going to make you physically ill. And I can honestly say I am like a person that is, I've got Mars and Mercury and Pisces, so I'm like a walking, talking sponge. Like, if I'm not honoring me, and it comes right back at me. And I've noticed a lot of things that my own unconscious has been saying, and it's like patterns as I prepare to go away and like release my book and teach. And it's like everything kind of like came to a head at the last moment, and it was like, okay, finally the book is there, it's ready to go. Then it was like, okay, wait a minute, this isn't exactly the way I want it, so I have to redo it. Not redo it, I had to like make some modifications. And so then it stretched it a little bit further. And it was kind of frustrating. It was like, okay, now I can just be happy with the way it is, or I can be exactly, do it exactly the way it needs to be, even if it means delaying some things. And that's what has happened. Oh, by the way, if you are in Toledo, I will be doing my November 2nd event. I will be doing that in the beginning of the year, actually in January of 2012, which is a very important date. But I will be doing some other things before then. The reason for that is because the book wasn't exactly the way I needed it to be. And I also feel that there are some really strong divine messages that need to go out and need to be shared. And I'm working on another book to share with people. So I actually, because that's what I decided, instead of just doing it and not having everything exactly the way I wanted it, I decided to change the date and do it exactly the way it needs to be. But as always, you always know you can catch me on here, and also on Wednesdays I am on Facebook Live, and I also do a radio show on Thursdays. and WAKT 106.1 FM from 8 to 10 interviews. So there's always ways to get a hold of me besides going over to KimmieRose.com or lighttheway.com and calling 734-854-1514. So as we are in Monday and beginning our week, I'm going to tell you, if anything happened over the weekend and you did not communicate it, this is the time to communicate it with those you love. And don't be afraid to be honest and truthful. If it's something that you've thought about more than once, don't ignore it. Don't push it away. Bring it up. It is so important to bring it up. If you don't bring it up, it's going to just eventually come up, and it will bubble up, and it's going to cause some heavy duty problems as we enter into that gateway of 11:11. So this week, any of those chains that are binding you, that are keeping you from feeling like that connection with your partner or with people in your life that are close, get some clarity. There's probably been some misunderstandings. There's been some things that haven't been said. Really get some understanding. And when you get that understanding, you're going to have a better sense of knowing and a better sense of how things need to, go, how things need to be done, how things will align better for you and them. If you can't be honest, then don't be in it. That's my suggestion. For work type situations, same thing. If you're feeling uncomfortable, and if you feel like you're like having to go to social media to see what this person's doing or see what's going on there, and you're spending so much time, looking in other places other than right with what's in front of you, put the brakes on and go to source. Source is within you. Close your eyes and really start to channel energy in and center, and you will find that the information will flow so much easier than if you are going in scattered mode and you're looking here and there. And just like me, I know how many times I have taught my intuition class so many times, and I know it. I know it's all about just getting those senses awake, waking them up, exercising them. But I always get new information that comes in, and then I'm out going, I gotta find this somewhere. I gotta do, and it's whoa, slow down. It's very simple. Everything we have is already in here. It's just a matter of flipping on those switches, and that's the key. You are supposed to be in a natural state, as natural as possible. You're not supposed to be connecting with all these cluttering yourself and closing yourself in. It's a good time just to clear it out. Clear it out, open it up, and set yourself free. And communicate. Any barriers between you and other people, make that communication clear. Don't be afraid, because if you matter to someone, first of all, you have to matter to yourself. They will listen. And if your relationship matters, then also that will be clear. Things need to be clear. So I'm going to take a moment and we're going to do the weekly mantra. Taking a moment, I'm going to do the weekly mantra, and I'm just going to do the bells. Just have you close your eyes. And I'm going to have you put your hand over your heart, hand over your navel. I allow myself to communicate clearly that which has been inside. For when I communicate, I am in full freedom of expression. I allow myself to communicate freely and fully. Can you say that? I allow myself to communicate freely and fully. Or when I am in clear communication of that which is inside, I break free of the chains that bind me. And I want you just to feel those words. I intend to break free of the chains that bind me through communication. That's the mantra. But I wanted to share with you a little bit more of like how you get there. I intend to break free of the chains that bind me. I intend to break free of the chains that bind me. I intend to break free of the chains that bind me. Have a blessed week, and I will be in Hawaii teaching at Sedona store, and you can actually go to Sedona, Hawaii. Just look it up and you'll see my schedule. I'm teaching an intuition development class. I'm doing gallery reading, also a full moon class, and I'm also doing one of my favorite classes, which is a tarot class, which teaches more in a Jungian state, the path of enlightenment. I love that class. So I look forward to doing it. I look forward to sharing time with you in Hawaii. And also, I will be doing an event in Toledo. And just go over to my website, kimmierose.com. Check out all the things that are going on. Please stay updated here on YouTube and my app, Kimmie Rose. It will be ready soon. And there'll be all kinds of exciting things as I am redoing it, revamping it, and having a better way to connect with you. If you want to get a hold of me or anybody else on the light team, the Light the Way Prisms of Light team, 734-854-1514 is the number. And I also wanted to mention that my daughter, Hannah Marie, will be with me doing readings in Hawaii. Bless you. Namaste.
Static is just forming some chords and some walls. I'm static without the ends, and every breath of theirs was a thorn and desire, and every petal's blush and red. It's on my fingertips, and my electric lights becoming